Howdy, y'all. Well, we got a little something new here today. This is a prototype gauge for checking 22 long rifle or 22 rimfire. It can be long, short, whatever. But this thing is made by the makers of Bulletgage. And this is a prototype. He has sent it out to some people. He's made up a few of them, sent them out to people to get feedback on. He sent this one to a good friend of mine, Ian, and Ian's busy right now with getting ready to go to the Pyramid Air Cup because he's a big writer for Pyramid and stuff like that. So he loaned it to me to let me do it, and then when he gets back, he'll do his review on it too. So if you've never heard of Bulletgage, Bulletgage is a gauge. It looks pretty similar to this. Matter of fact, I will insert a picture right here so you can see what they are. Alright, so now this thing is going to be checked. You can check rim thicknesses, and you can check bullet diameters. Now this thing is cut with a laser that has a 0.00005 kerf. That's how big of a kerf it cuts. You know, so that's a pretty fine laser. You know, if you look, those numbers, you actually can see through them. They're so fine. I mean, when you see this thing in person, and you look at those things, it's like, oh man, that's pretty fine little detail there. But you have font sizes. I was thinking about what size the numbers were. You have 045. Basically, you have even numbers or odd numbers over here: 45, 43, 41, down to 35, and then 44 down to 34 on this side to check your rim thicknesses. And then you have 224.5, and it goes down by half thousandths increments down to 219. So what we're going to do right off this first here is we're going to check those slots. Now, I happen to have a set of pin gauges. These pin gauges are considered minus gauges. In other words, this is an 045. It's actually 044 and 8/10. It's 2/10 undersize. So 45 goes in the 45 slot. Let's see if a 46 will go in it. It will not go in it. So 45 goes in it, but will it go in the 44? No, it will not. We'll do a couple here like that. 44 goes in. It will not go into 43. 43 goes in, but it won't go into 42. So let's see, that's 42. Won't go into 41. We'll go down one more. Let's see, this is 41. Right? It goes in. This may have a burr on the end of it or something. It goes in there because I just had it in there. There we go. See, you just got to hold your mouth just right. And a 40 won't go in. It won't go into the 40. So I would say that the rest of them are pretty darn close too. So, now what is this gauge for? It's for checking rim thicknesses. Now, there's tons of different ones out on the market. We know that for any rimfire shooter that's into really heavy rimfire shooting, there's all kinds of gauges out there. But you know, do you want to go buy one of these? Do you want to go buy a set of calipers? Do you want all these different instruments, or can you use just this? This will give you the rim thickness and bullet diameter. I mean, if you want to check, other than that, checking weight maybe. You know, I know people do that. So, what you ought to do with these though is you find you a way of finding what you want as far as thickness. So let's start out with some of this Norma 22 long rifle match 22. Now I bought this off of Pyramid Air. If y'all didn't know that, Pyramid Air now sells ammo and all kinds of other stuff. Let me take my hat off here so I'll quit bumping the camera. Pyramid Air. Their Air now stands for Adventures in Reloading. So let's take 5 of these out just to demonstrate here what we're going to do. So let's put it on here on the 45 slot, and then we'll look at the back of it, and that sticks through. It completely sticks through there. That does too. That's the 43. That's 41. It sticks through. Let's go over to 40. That barely, I mean, it's sticking, but it's not definitely not as much as the 41 is. Let's try another one. Let's go to 42. It sticks through. 41 sticks through. But 40 does not. So you can just go by how much it sticks out the back of it, and then you could sort them. You know, if it goes all the way through at 40, you know, you make you a pile of 40 for the 40s and stack them all up there. All right, so the next thing you can check is the bullet diameter. And we're going to start out here on the biggest diameter, and that pretty much goes right through. So let's do the next size. Same thing, it goes all the way through. We're going in the right direction. Yep. That goes, it doesn't quite go as far, because I can see the case mouth here where I couldn't see it there. And now look how much it's sticking up. It's sticking up maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So if I was going to start sorting these things, I would say, okay, that's 223. And that'd make me a pile of 223s over here. Let's see what the next one is. Same thing. Just about the same thing. So we know that would be the same. And exactly the same. Pull it up here so y'all can see a little bit better there. See, that goes all the way right up to the case mouth. And that actually goes, case mouth's actually kind of going in the hole. So, you know, there's another 223. You could sort it by, you get them all sorted by rim size first if you wanted, and then go into that stack of rim size, and then check your bullet diameter. You need to be careful though, you know, you don't want to do it too much. Check it once or twice, and that's it. Don't want to be maybe scraping any lube off or anything like that. Let's put those back. And let's check another brand that's pretty popular. Standard CCI Standard Velocity. This is a brand new box, unopened. First time opening it. That was too. Let's get 5 of them out here. Let's do the same thing here. We'll start with a 45 all the way through, 43 all the way through. Now that didn't go through, so let's go over to 42. Let's see, 42, let's go back to 43. And that sticks out a little bit more than the 42 does. Not much, but it's a little bit. So we'll call that 43. It's not really about actual numbers. It's just get you a consistent way of checking them and making them the same. And see, that's a 43, but it doesn't go in. That's a 44. Not much difference, but there is a difference. Same thing. That's a 44. And you just make you a pile of them for what size you have. Just get consistent with it. Oop, I already checked that one. Where are we at? 44. There we go. That's a 44 too. So basically, you know, you like you say, these all 44s. Now you can go in and that goes all the way through. I mean, look, the case goes all the way through. That's a half a thou difference, and it will not go through. There, it barely goes through. There we go. I'm hoping I get this in camera a little better. Yeah, that won't go in at all, and that's 223.5. So it will go through a 224, but it will not go through a 2235. So, you know, you could separate it like that. If that's the way you could say, okay, that didn't pass all the way through the 224, but it didn't pass through the 223.5. So you could put it in whichever pile you wanted, 24, or, you know, if it has to pass through, that's the way you decide to stack them up. That passed all the way to 224. And it will not pass through a .223.5. So those two are the same size. Same size rim, same size bullet. Oh, see, now that one went through. So it's a little bit smaller. So that's a 1/2 thousand smaller. And that one goes through the 224, but it will not go through the 223.5. So basically that's how it works. I think it's worth the money. I'm not sure what he's going to charge on them. I do know that his pellet gauges they run about 40. I think they're $49. I believe is what it was. This is comparable to that. That's not a bad little deal. You know, beats having to buy a bunch of different measuring tools, but you know, most reloaders have some of those anyway. But you know, but if there's a guy that was just all he done was shot 22s, you know, he didn't do any kind of reloading or anything, this would be a great tool for him. So let me know what y'all think about it. If you want to go to the pelletgage.com and look at the other stuff and maybe shoot him an email. His name is Jerry Couples. I actually know the man myself. I've met him. It's been 2 years ago. We was at the Texas Air Gun Show, and I was with my friend Ian sitting in his booth, and Mr. Couples was booth across from us, so we were sitting there jaw-jacking for, you know, several hours. And, you know, during the gun shows, or air gun show, and he's really, really nice man. So, anyway, this is what he's got out there to do a prototype on, and just, like I say, let us know what you think about it. And yays or nays, those kind of things. What could be improved? What might, if you think it's fine like it is, you know, that type of thing. So, anyway, that's enough rambling for now. So, I want to just thank everybody for watching.